So you told me that your lawyers had warned you that once you've beaten them in court, they would want revenge, and they would essentially weaponize their regulatory powers to make your life difficult. Were they right?
They were right, and this is this knowledge in the legal profession, because they knew from experience that the legal board have so much power and resources, and always use the largest law firms and QCs and King's Counsels now and lawyers to break lawyers, and they don't let up. When you're in their sights, you'll always be in their sights. So it's just a matter of time until they find something or do something.
And what did they do against you?
Well, as I said, they sent in audits. They then did special audits on files. They then sent in auditors, other lawyers that are auditors twice, to come in and look at files and try and find out something that they could find out about my practice that was possibly not going correctly or whatever. So most lawyers, probably 99%, never have this happen in their whole career. So this was quite unusual how they were going about it systematically, trying to have me either close down or have a mental breakdown. And then eventually what they did is they just stole my business, lock, stock and barrel, on the 11th of October 2023.
So their main job is to make sure that the clients of the legal profession have confidence in the profession.
And the public also protected.
Yes. So did one of your clients make a complaint against you?
I had complaints made against me just in terms of costs, and that's a regular occurrence in the handling of legal practice.
But the auditor's appointment, was that in particular triggered by a consumer complaint against you?
No, it wasn't. No, I actually ended up having a bookkeeper steal close to $200,000. We reconciled it to $135,000, and I received $130,000 back from insurance. That was in August 2018. In October 2018, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had treatment in January 2019, operation and treatment for cancer. I'm now in remission. Then I also had a bunion operation in July 2019, which ended up having a first metatarsal break. So a new surgeon had to correct that in December 2020, which led to a practitioner I'd employed as a senior associate, dealing with the legal board on other issues with the legal board that they had regarding other files, etc., and also writing to the legal board without my knowledge saying that I wasn't managing my practice, which all came out after the fact, especially when I was back in operation and I was still managing my files. Through COVID, we all had boxes, or everyone got paid the same rate of pay. I didn't devalue anybody, take any conditions off anyone. So we made it all through that. We made the hard yards through the cancer diagnosis and treatment. We made the way through the bunion operation and the second operation there. Other medical conditions I have now still and have ongoing, like chronic regional pain syndrome in the foot as a result of this scarring and bad foot, just through a basic bunion correction. So what happened, the upshot was that this senior associate who'd been there for 5 years decided to open up her own practice and had set that up already and called herself a sole practitioner in November 2020, well, it was just before the operation, while she was still employed in my practice as a senior associate. Also, she didn't disclose to me that in 2020 she had had a diversion program. She'd agreed to a diversion program in the Magistrates Court. So she had disclosed it to me, and I'm not sure if she'd even disclosed it to the legal board, that she had had to pay a fine, and there were threats of that she had done assault on someone that she had pleaded guilty to for the diversion program. So the upshot was that when I came back into the office in February, March 2021, I found that this senior associate and 3 other lawyers that she took with her to a practice leaving with no staff had effectively been poaching clients against the employment contract. Turns out 78 clients were poached, were written to, being told that I wouldn't be back, and it was done by stealth, and I found that out after the fact, which I reported to the first auditor, Damien Naylor, when he came in to do the audit. That was in around about August 2021. He was appointed by the Victorian Legal Services Commissioner under their own motion to come and do an audit. Now, in his report, he did acknowledge that this senior associate had taken 78 files and that there was a minor dispute between us two. But I would categorise it as a major theft of property, intellectual property and ongoing billing from my practice, which had been in operation since November 2002.
So you're effectively saying that she had decided to steal your business and
clients and staff,
and in order to create
Start
an
her own
excuse
yes,
for
And
taking
misconduct.
away your clients and your staff, she made an allegation to say that you're not managing your business
I'm
properly,
not functioning.
and then that would justify her taking all those people
That's correct.
and your hard-developed business away
She
from you.
manufactured a complaint. I
And
was told by the Victorian Legal Services Commissioner, which I haven't seen, that I wasn't managing, and they would have then used that with their Asperger's view that I'm not a fit and proper person to run a practice.
so you're saying that they effectively determined that all Asperger's syndrome or all people that have that condition are incapable of running a legal practice properly.
That's correct, or running their life and can't deal with people.
Okay. And that's what you're currently challenging before the Equal Opportunity and Human Rights Commission.
That's correct. There's a complaint against the Victorian Legal Services Commissioner for compensation for breaching the law in relation to discrimination for a person with Asperger's in employment.
Okay. Now, we've spoken extensively about Mr. Naylon's appointment, and can you remind me again who the appointer of Mr. Naylon was in your case?
Was a Mrs. Alice Duggan from the Victorian Legal Services Commissioner, and she wrote to me in mid-2021 saying, "Hi Thomas, we haven't spoken for many years." She actually did her Leo Cousins placement to become a lawyer in my practice in 2011, I recall, and I passed and ticked off on her placement that she could be admitted into the profession as a first-year lawyer. So it was quite interesting for me to see that she was saying in her original letter to me, first letter, that she's made the determination that I need to have an auditor come in and go through my business. To which I responded, well, you did your practical placement at my firm. I was good enough to sign off on your admission and that you're competent, but here you are now saying that I'm not competent. And so she just still made the appointment and didn't address that and didn't recuse herself either
So
from that decision.
you're saying that you raised that she had a conflict of interest
That's
in
correct.
that you were her boss prior to the her employment at the Victorian Legal Services Board, or if not immediately prior to that, then some years prior to that, and she refused to recuse herself.
That's correct.
Did she advise you that she had referred this matter to a supervisor and they had found that
No.
there was no basis?
No, not at all.
So she did not even escalate the matter to
No.